Choo. Back again. It's your old pal Jizzo. Coming back again. I realize that it's been quite a while since my last video. February 20th, in fact. But I've been busy. I've been writing songs for a new record, and I've been gigging, and I plan to do more gigging over the summer. And so I've just been busy. And it takes a lot of energy for me to write songs, to focus, to write good songs. It takes a lot of energy. You got to get away from people. You got to get away from the machine, the Instagram and the Facebook and all that stuff. You need to hunker down and open up your vital organs to the rock gods and let them sprinkle that magic dust on you. And it's been good. I got a bunch of songs, not done yet, but I got a good amount of heavy songs. So I'm very pleased about that. And of course, this summer I will be doing a lot of shows with Quiet Riot, and I have my UK Jizzy Love Hate Tour in November with an HRH date. And I've been doing stuff here at home in Las Vegas with my buddies and raiding the Rock Vault, and that's been fun. So all in all, I've been busy as f***, and now I have a new video for you, and it's called The Night I Got Kicked Out of Gazzarri'S. So let's go back in time. Okay, so I'm at the Scream Club in Hollywood, California, 1988-ish. Not the downtown Park Plaza Scream Club, for all you aficionados. It was the one on Highland. And my bass player and I are just there, normal, hanging out, drinking beers, watching bands. This is what we did. And all of a sudden, this band comes off and an impromptu jam starts with Lars Ulrich gets up on stage from Metallica, and a soon-to-be famous guitar player gets up and joins him. Guy's drunk as f***, can't get his guitar plugged in, he's having problems, he's getting screamed at by Lars. Hey, Bruno, get your shit together, get your shit together. And they can't get their shit together. They want to jam, but they can't get their shit together. And I'm watching this, drinking my beer, and there's some confusion in the crowd, and I'm thinking to myself, you know what? They need a singer. Somebody should get up there. Somebody. F*** it. I look to my bass player and I go, I should get up there and sing. And he looks at me, the audacity. So I get up on stage and I just start ad-libbing the blues. Everyone knows the blues. I don't know, was it Red House? Was it Roadhouse? I don't remember. I just started singing, and then everyone started joining in because everyone knew where I was going. It's the fucking blues. Everyone knows the blues. Even the most inebriated person can play blues. So I start singing, and everybody joins in. Lars joins in, drunk guitar player joins in, and all of a sudden, it's a real jam, and we're jamming blues. And I'm hauling ass, I'm kicking ass, and then we do this blues jam. And then we finish, and everyone claps, everyone's going crazy. And then I get off stage, and all of a sudden, I'm anonymous again. No one's looking at me, nobody cares. Back down, back to your hole, Jizzo. Such was life in Hollywood back then. You could be watching bands and then all of a sudden get up on stage and jam with rock stars. You could get lucky every night or unlucky, depending. You could get signed or not. You could make the jump to Warp Speed, fame, fortune, MTV, tour buses, or not. There were lots of opportunities and there were lots of shenanigans that you could get into every single night. And you could get into a lot of trouble if you wanted to. And I guess therein lies this tale. Getting into clubs for free. That was the first rung of the ladder, if you will. If you played the strip long enough, Gazzarri'S, the Roxy, the Whiskey, if you played the strip long enough, you were afforded the luxury of bypassing the ticket counter and actually strolling in for free, like you were somebody. Nobody really could afford to pay. Nobody wanted to pay then or now. You'd walk in, you'd scrape up enough change for your one beer of the night, and you would find a nice cozy corner and you would lean against the wall and you would pose. How's it going? Yeah, we're playing here in 2 weeks. Yeah, check us out. Yeah, check out my demo. And you'd have your cassette, and you would be part of the community. You start talking up a girl. She likes you. You like her. Anyway, at that particular moment, things start to happen. You end up going to her place, spending the night. The next morning, she goes to work. You got to figure out how you're going to get home. You're in your gig clothes. It's awkward. Next week, you see her again, and she's with someone else, but that's the way it was. Everybody fucked everybody. You weren't supposed to care. You weren't supposed to have any attachments, so you didn't. Sometimes you went to a party, and there was lots of free beer, so you drank a lot of free beer because it was free. You drank. You drank too much. You rationalize that you're not really an alcoholic. Finding a bucket of beers at a party was like finding the proverbial pot of gold. It didn't matter, really. No one judged you. You know what I mean? We were all in the same boat musically. No one was much better or much smarter or much cuter. We were all sort of faceless. 10,000 bands, 10,000 bands, 10,000 hopes and dreams. Sometimes you'd get resentful in the darkness of your lonely room. You would carry home a BAM or a Rock City News magazine. You'd be leafing through it, and you would see some bands in there with the full page ads, and they looked like they had money. It looked like they were going somewhere, and you'd think, those guys, man. We're better than those guys. We've got more soul than those guys. Why them and not us? Soul searching. Soul searching. Trying to push away the creeping doubt and the crushing sense that you're hoping you're not going to really be throwing away 10 years of your 20s on some fucking pipe dream. I mean, think of it. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Mr. No Skills? Work at a gas station? Shipping clerk? Grocery store night manager? You'd have to cut your hair, of course. And that would be like Samson. You would just lose all your strength immediately. You couldn't dwell on it too long. You really couldn't dwell on it too long. Because if you did, you would just throw your fucking self out the fucking window to hit the blessed pavement below. Thinking shit like this all the time would drive you to drink. It would drive you to smoke weed like a fiend. Because weed and beer helped you cope. It helped push away all these creeping doubts. It gave you courage on the strip. Beer and bravado helped you. It helped you get girls easier. It helped win fights easier. You know what I mean? It pushed away the everyday poverty of life. But then you got into trouble. You got into trouble. Some people were happy drunks. I was not. I got mad. Imagine playing an empty Whiskey A Go-Go. Wednesday night, first band out of 4, 9 p.m. slot. The worst slot of all. There's no one there. You've been thinking about this gig for weeks. You've been excited to play this because you've got new songs. I've got Tumbleweed. We got this new song, Tumbleweed, we want to play. Everyone's going to dig it. Everyone's going to freak out. They're going to dig it as much as we dig it. And it turns out nobody digs it. There's empty. There's 10 people standing back by the bar, and there's an empty dance floor, and girls are walking past you between songs on the wooden dance floor, and you can hear it clip, clap, clip, clap, clip, clap. It's like they're fucking with you. They're doing it on purpose. They're going to the bathroom on purpose to fuck with you, to show you, to illustrate how empty and how not happening your band is. and it would fuck with you. You're pouring your heart out on stage. The four guys are pouring their heart out, and nobody cares. Nobody cares, man. You know what? And maybe you got mad about it. Maybe after the fourth other musician's girlfriend walked past you on the empty dance floor and sneered at you, maybe you started to get mad. Maybe your foot pushed a little bit too hard on the monitor cabinet and your foot went through the monitor cabinet. You didn't mean to do it, but you know what? You were mad. Maybe it just, you took it out on that stupid, crummy monitor cabinet. It didn't matter. All the gear back then was crap. All the monitors at Gazzarri'S and the whiskey were crap. All the microphones were dented and fucked up, and they smelled of liquor and cigarettes and vomit. All the gear was trashed. You know, the venues didn't care about the bands. They really didn't. We were like cattle. Every night, 10 bands in, 10 bands out, 10 bands in, 10 bands out, faceless, playing the same A chords, the same E chords. There was no green room. There was no drink tickets. You're lucky if you got a couple of waters, because it just didn't matter, man. It didn't matter. You didn't matter. Nobody got paid. So you got mad. You get mad. You get mad at this life that you've committed yourself to, that you are fully committed to, and yet no one seems to care about you or your music or your future. It's a brutal and an unforgiving situation. So you would get mad when you're desperate and you're broke and you have no expectations. We started to get a reputation. I did. I figured if I couldn't be the best singer in Hollywood, I could definitely be the worst. Jizzo, most likely to get into a fist fight. Jizzo, most likely to break shit. Purveyor of projectile vomit. It got so bad that there was a rumor started that at the end of our set, we would do a song called, appropriately enough, The End. And during that song, we would proceed to break all the gear on stage, kind of like The Who, old school. And I don't know if it was true or not. I don't remember it being true, but the rumor persisted. And what happened was we got banned. We got banned from the whiskey. We got banned from the Roxy for a while. We could only play benefit shows. Somebody got into a motorcycle accident. We'll play the benefit. Somebody got crabs. We'll play the benefit, to get him some quell. We'll do it. And that was, for a while, that was the only way that we could get gigs in Hollywood, because of this reputation that we were destructive. So one night we were playing a benefit at Gazzarri'S. I think it was Rich Bartle that was putting on the benefit. Anyway, I'm backstage getting ready to play, and I'm noticing that there's an inordinate amount of security backstage. I didn't realize it at the time, but they were there because of me. They were there just in case Jizzo turned into the Wolfman. So I'm backstage, and there's a chair in the middle of the room. There's all these bands, but there's a stupid chair sitting in the middle of this room. So I decide to kick the chair. I didn't kick it out of anger or malice. I just kicked it because it was in the middle of the fucking room. It was totally screwing up the feng shui of the room. So I pushed it. Out of the middle of the room. All of a sudden, I'm jumped by three huge guys. They're grabbing me, lifted me up bodily, and dragged me out of the backstage area, down the stairs, past all the people in the front, and then deposited me outside of the front of Gazzarri'S. Threw me out, as it were. And then the doors shut. And I'm standing there for a minute, just confused, and then I got mad, of course, and I started screaming at the top of my lungs, Bill Gazzarri is a this place stinks, your club stinks, I'll never I'll never play Gazzarri'S again, etc., etc., etc. And then after about 5 minutes, I sat down on the curb like a bum, sheepishly waiting for the rest of my band to come out and give me a ride home. It was pretty embarrassing. And then I ended up being banned from Gazzarri'S, 86th. I had already been 86th from FM station, and now I'm 86th from Gazzarri'S. Good work, Jizzo. Good work. Thanks again, alcohol. And then, magically, all sins were forgiven. It's funny, but the minute you get a record deal, all sins are forgiven. Doors previously closed now swing wide open. Fancy a beer, Jizzo? Fancy a shag? Now, bad behavior, once frowned on, is now tolerated and actually encouraged. You're not a fucked up, broke dick, drunken idiot anymore. You're a misunderstood genius. You're a poet. You're Jim Morrison. You're Dylan Thomas. And what's funny is that in your head, you know that you are exactly the same fucking person that you were before the record deal, but now you're much cuter and handsomer and more successful that you got the record deal. You're exactly the same person inside, but outside, it's all changed. And then, just as magically, all the anger went away. It just evaporated. It's hard to be pissed off at the world when you've just achieved your life's goal. You're happy. You're actually happy. Your parents don't think you're a loser. Your friends aren't laughing at you anymore. Whew. Thank God for that happy ending. Thank God. I'm here. I'm alive. I'm doing YouTube again. And the rock and roll continues. So here we go. It's your old pal Jizzo, rockin' and rollin', and we'll see you again next time.